So Shakur Stevenson looks to be one of the most promising talents that we see in the sport right now of boxing, because we see him been climbing up the ranks. Obviously had that impressive, emphatic win over the champion Jamel Herring, and he made that look seamless. It was an amazing performance, and just barely got hit. Honestly, his hit and not get hit style, he managed to outpoint Jamel badly with, I mean, taking pretty much every single round and being able to get the stoppage. So his last performance was amazing, and obviously Oscar Valdez's last performance as well, one of the knockouts of the year. So both of these guys have been very promising, and these guys are looking to be super hyped. They have a lot of hype behind them. Obviously, Oscar Valdez training with Team Reynoso, and Shakur Stevenson is sparring with so many great talents and being backed by some of the best fighters in the world.
Yeah, some of these two are like the very best, especially at super featherweight. These are like the best fighters like in the world there, and they're just so talented and so young. Especially Shakur is so young, and Oscar's a bit older at like 31. But just to see how like young these some of these guys are and how talented they are and how skilled they already are is just crazy to see. And especially I feel like Shakur is one of those guys who could definitely gather a lot of hype behind him, and he already has hype, but even more, and become even a bigger star, and for the future even be probably one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world, because he just has all the skills in the world pretty much. He's extremely technical, has great different combinations, has great volume. He's just amazing fighter.
And we don't usually get these kind of fights get made, especially when you see the two best guys in a division, the two champions, two guys that everyone wants to see fight. A lot of times in boxing, there's politics, there's things that happen, there's a lot of things that hold back a fight, but this fight looks to be in the works, looks to be getting made, because April 30th is a date that's being thrown around, and so many attributes each of these guys have. Obviously, Shakur Stevenson being a super technical and tricky southpaw, and he's not as experienced as Valdez, but he has an extensive Olympic pedigree as well as amateur background, and he's such a great technical fighter, and obviously has so many things up his sleeve, and could definitely be a potential superstar in the sport of boxing, because he has a lot of potential.
It's just great to see how these two amazing and overall just great fighters in every aspect of boxing are gonna be fighting, and how their skills are kind of different in certain compartments, and how they can kind of use it to their advantage in this fight. And it's for both guys, it'll definitely be their toughest challenge and to date, and their toughest fight they've had in their careers, especially with Shakur. If he's able to beat him in such fashion, he beat Jamelin, then that will be such a big telling for him as a fighter and just for his future and how it could look.
Yeah, and there's also been talks of other possible fights for Shakur, kind of Lomachenko, who's another tricky southpaw and probably one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world right now, which that fight would be amazing to see. And I think he definitely has a spot at 135 pounds, because he's a pretty big 130 pounder, I'm pretty sure. So even though he's not the tallest, he has a decently big frame. He looks to be eyeing that division, because I mean the lightweight division is the money division in boxing. It has some of the most promising stars. You have Devin Haney, Kambosos. Teofimo Lopez was fighting, even though he might be moving up. Obviously Lomachenko, Ryan Garcia, so many, and it's really where the money fights are. So if he wants to be fighting one of those guys and get the money fight, get your star potential to be even higher, I think the lightweight division is where it's at. So if he's able to beat Valdez and then move up to lightweight, that would put on a huge statement, and something that would definitely be anticipated, because this guy's super talented, and it's going to be exciting to see where he goes. But we can't be overlooking Valdez. I mean, he's undefeated, 30-0, and the super featherweight champion in WBC. So I think these guys having a unification bout will definitely be interesting.
Yeah, and their style clash is just the interesting part about it. You got like Shakur, who's got that technical ability, who's able to outmaneuver fighters and hit and not get hit. And then also you got Valdez, who's very powerful, who's got so much toughness, grit, and heart, and still of course with the skills. So that's why I feel like this matchup is really good, and it's coming at a really good time in both these guys' careers.
Yeah, and there were reports that this fight was going to be happening on April 30th, which was actually just announced to be the same date that the women pound for pound clash between Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor is going to be happening. So it would definitely be interesting to see how that could play into this fight. Maybe it would be on a different date, who knows? But I think this is definitely an exciting matchup to look forward to, and I think that this could be the decider of the future of boxing.